Hello, my name's Scott Davis. Welcome to New World Birth. This is the care and feeding of a New World Age report for the Gregorian date of June 29th, 2015, and one Ahau or Sun in the Mayan Zolkin calendar with the Capricorn Full Moon and Mercury entering Cancer. June 29th is one Ahau or Sun, and it carries the themes of honoring ancestors, flowers, light, ascension, co-creation, unconditional love, enlightenment, opening up to new possibilities and beginnings, wholeness, and the awakening to miracles. And I really love that flowers is one of the symbols of Ahau because the name Patanjali, the author of the Yoga Sutras, means one who casts flowers through time, which is a quality of Ahau, being that the ancestors cast their wisdom through time. Ahau is considered to be one of the most sacred of days because life on earth would not exist without the warmth and light of the sun. Being both a wave and a particle, light transcends form. This 13-day period is about shining light on any uncertainty, honoring our ancestors, and taking time to purify our light to heal our spirits and Mother Earth. And since this is we begin a new Gregorian month during this Trisena, I thought I would discuss the metaphysics of the upcoming month. July is the seventh month, and with the digits of 2015, when we add them all together, we get 15, and then we add the 1 and the 5, and that tells us that we are in a 15-6 month in numerology. And basic numerology reduces numbers to 1 through 9. So when we think about that arc, the 6 represents a time of review after gaining insights during the 5 month, which was June of this year. So it's about finding balance by sorting out to determine what we want to keep and what's fulfilled its purpose and can be released. These qualities are also shared by the sign of Virgo, which is the placement that Venus will be in from the 18th to the 31st of July. This 6 month, the 6 month wants resolution and harmony. The 15-6 combination is represented by the devil and lovers in the tarot cards, which is about facing our bedevilments or problems with tenacity and humor to hone ourselves in relationship to the other. And this quote by Burnett W. Goodspeed represents the devil archetype. The difference between a comedy and a tragedy is that in a comedy, the characters figure out reality in time to do something about it. And this offering from Anais Nin is helpful in understanding the lovers. The value of the personal relationship to all things is that it creates intimacy, and intimacy creates understanding, and understanding creates love. So July represents a new series of events and a shift in new directions on many levels, including facing our inner shadow and sharing our light with others. And with Saturn in Scorpio, this also mirrors the tarot to align to align action with responsibility, transparency, and ethics. And before I get into the daily energy for one Ahau or Sun, on the 29th, all the planets appear to be moving forward from our vantage point here on the Earth, with the exception of Saturn, Chiron, Neptune, and Pluto, which appear to be moving retrograde or in reverse motion. So remember, the themes of a retrograde planet are review of the past, reevaluate, reminisce, and we can see these themes being played out. Saturn retrograde reviews our commitments, plans, what we do for work, the structures of our lives. And this one is a little more complicated than most because Saturn began its apparent reverse movement in Sagittarius, but at this point it's backed into the final degrees of Scorpio. Saturn retrograde is a real taskmaster that demands that we would take responsibility to review our beliefs while in Sagittarius and our ethics while in Scorpio. Chiron retrograde in Pisces is about releasing stuck emotional energy so that we can return to the natural flow of life. Retrograde Chiron has us reviewing our wounds so that they can be released, by having the courage to be open our hearts to any fear or pain associated with the past. When Chiron is in Pisces, people are willing to sacrifice their individual pain in hopes of finding bliss in universal consciousness. At worst, this can manifest as folks justifying their victimhood as some form of martyrdom. This should be a transcendence and surrender without losing ourselves in the experience. And then Neptune retrograde is seeking transcendence through spiritual experiences. Uh, and this will be a time to use spiritual practices to keep us grounded as we expand our intuition and consciousness. Both Neptune and Pisces, the sign that it rules, tend to be dreamy, imaginative, difficult to nail down due to their qualities of illusion and illumination, often without any way to know which is which. They represent compassion and codependence, selflessness and loss of self, higher purpose and substance abuse in their inspiration to transcend the material plane and experience something beyond words and thoughts. And then we've got Pluto, the planet of transformation through death and rebirth. It is retrograde, which is about reviewing the past as always. And in this case, releasing anything from the past that's a burden to our new path. Pluto is in Capricorn, is determined in exposing the darkness, destroying the old order so that we can rise up like the phoenix from the ashes and soar again. Capricorn is about large structures, which includes banks, governments, corporations, religions. And Pluto is in Capricorn until 2023, where it is destroying and regenerating the structures that are the foundation of our societies, represented by Capricorn. So this is a time of a cosmic course correction for the entire planet. We cannot continue to harm Mother Earth for the economic gain of a few. And it's really the resistance to Pluto's lessons of letting go of the past that bring tragedy and pain. So let's look at the daily vibrational energy for this Trecena. June 29th is one Ahau, or sun. It's about unity experience through honoring the wisdom and the memory of our ancestors in the Mayan Zolkin calendar, while we have Venus in a trine to Uranus. So from our perspective here on the Earth, this is a 120-degree angle between Venus and Uranus, which wants social experiences and romantic encounters that are outside of the norm, unusual and surprising. It's a great day to try something out of the ordinary. The daily routine will just not cut it under this influence. Folks are looking for something stimulating in their social lives and relationships. A day where there may be unique encounters and love relationships that begin under this influence tend to be exciting, electric, unstable, and short. But they have a strong potential to change our lives. So if you find yourself beginning a relationship during this time period, those are the qualities that you might find in that relationship. This could also bring unconventional agreements in our relationships, such as perhaps agreeing to change from an exclusive coupling to experimenting with having other lovers. Experiencing different types of entertainment are also favored by this transit, by enjoying music, art, or theater that's outside of your normal choices. I'm not going to be covering the daily lunar activity in these reports other than the new and full moons, but that information is available on the New World Birth Daily Facebook post and on the blogger New World Birth blog. So on the 30th, we have 2 Emish, or crocodile, in the Mayan Zolkin calendar, which is duality experienced through nurturing new beginnings. July 1st is 3 Eek, or wind, which is about taking action through communication, while we have the Capricorn full moon at 9 degrees 55 minutes, almost 10 degrees Capricorn, opposing Mars and the sun in Cancer, in harmony with Neptune and merging with Pluto. Full moons are a time of tension, as the sun in Cancer is about balancing security, home, and the family, with the moon in Capricorn representing work and productivity. The day is a mix of high level energy that we have in a full moon, with the themes of opposed by Mars, influencing people to be more excitable and irritable. That can cause problems in personal relationships. Sextile Neptune brings greater sensitivity to others' emotions, with the possible psychic impressions for those of us who are more open. Conjunct Pluto, we have more intense moods rising to the surface from deep in our psyches. Many people will go out and howl on the full moon. This one has so much sensitivity to others and unconscious deep feelings coming to the surface that it might be a good lunation to spend alone or with somebody that you know very well, as the opposition to Mars brings unsettled emotions with a strong likelihood of miscommunications that could lead to conflict. The moon in Capricorn can be depressing. With Mars, it could lead to anger. The saving grace of this full moon could be that Venus is conjunct Jupiter, which brings expansion to the themes of love and money. Folks with planets near 10 degrees of the cardinal signs Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn may want to approach this lunation with caution. And then for those who have planets well aspecting the Venus-Jupiter conjunction at 21 degrees Leo, may experience some protection during this full moon. And we also have, as I said, on the first, Venus conjunct Jupiter. So from our perspective here on the Earth, these both planets are at 21 degrees of Leo, which is one of the most agreeable transits. Unfortunately, it only lasts a day. But this has a very pleasant effect on people's moods. Many will be more optimistic, happy, outgoing, and eager. It can bring folks to indulge themselves and spend money as self-discipline is low. This would be a great day to have any type of celebration. And of course, with Venus, love relationships are favored. Typically excellent energy for a wedding or a party. And then also on the first, we've got the Sun trine Neptune. So from our perspective here on Earth, the Sun and Neptune are at the same degree of the water signs Cancer and Pisces, respectively. Which with Neptune's support of the Sun, we're more idealistic and understanding and more spiritual. The more spiritual levels of reality. This increases our sensitivity to the more subtle aspects of the world around us. This is good for spending time alone and to engage in activities like meditation, yoga, working in art, music, or any kind of creative project to explore the more spiritual levels of reality from an emotional and intellectual perspective. This is great for studying metaphysical or spiritual subjects and looking into your life to consider how you are doing in meeting the needs, your needs spiritually and materially. Idealistic romanticism may be a factor in our relationships today, particularly with the combination with Venus conjunct Jupiter happening at the same time. So we may need to remain grounded in seeing our loved ones as ordinary humans. This transit also increases sensitivity to the subtle aspects of reality, with people experiencing a flash of ESP or other types of mystical experiences. On the second, we have 4 Akbal or night, stability through contemplating the stars, while we've got Mercury in a sextile to Uranus. So from our perspective here on Earth, this is a 60-degree angle between Mercury and Uranus, which brings new discoveries and new people into our lives with the overall sense of excitement and innovation as Mercury interacts with its higher octave planet, Uranus. So flexibility is really important under this experience. So the more you can be flexible, the more helpful it's going to be as you experience this transit with this excitement and interest. If you find this disruptive, you may want to examine your attitude regarding deviating from a preordained plan of the day. This is good for looking at old problems that have troubled you in the past with fresh eyes. Challenges may be approached as new puzzles to solve as thinking becomes more inspired. Not a day where you will be content to just follow the usual routine. So leave some room for spontaneity, with new ideas and experiences being the reward for going with the flow. And then on July 3rd, we've got 5 Con or seed or lizard, which is about empowerment through planting seeds and making new connections. With Mercury, then sextile to Jupiter. So from our perspective here on Earth, Mercury's making another 60-degree angle, which brings our attention to the larger issues of life. Many will find their minds wandering to thoughts about the future, as our hopes and wishes are more important under this influence. This could also be good for thinking about the overall patterns in life. This is optimistic and brings a positive attitude. This is also good for business negotiations, contract discussions, and commercial transactions, as well as any dealings with the law. Travel also benefits, so this would be a good energy to start a trip or perhaps research some far off place that you wish to visit. Religious and philosophical subjects seem to also seem more attractive for investigation at this time. On the 4th, we've got 6 Chichan or serpent in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. This is about being in the flow through being flexible. July 5th is 7 Kimi or transformation, reflection through releasing what no longer serves us, which brings the second occurrence of Mercury sextile Venus. So again, from our perspective here, this is a 60-degree angle between these two planets, bringing mental ease to solve problems. Mercury in harmony with Venus also brings a light-hearted energy to the day. This is nice for using our minds for leisure, like reading or for pleasure, or going to an art show or a concert, or playing a game you enjoy, or just talking with friends. This is a day where you get a break from the heavier concerns of life. This is also excellent for communicating our feelings to the people you love. We love. So tell somebody you love them on July 5th. Express your appreciation and gratitude, and I expect it will come back to you in kind. This is also an excellent day to appreciate beauty. So you may want to put yourself in a beautiful environment, whether it's a home, or a museum, or a day out in the country. And then the 6th is 8 Manik or deer, which is about balance through being of service to others. And at this point, we've got the sun opposing Pluto. So from our perspective here on Earth, this is a 180-degree angle between the sun and Pluto, which colors the day's energy and can cause rather intense encounters with others, or circumstances that expose something that was hidden or that we chose to ignore, for the purpose of transforming an old, worn-out pattern that can no longer serve us. This indicates power struggles with others, particularly with people in authority. This day really has the hallmark of relationship difficulties that could possibly lead to breakups. You may want to keep this in mind rather than trying to repair the damage of this transit. So, choose your words carefully, choose your deeds carefully, so that you don't have to try to patch it up later on down the road. Overall, we're talking about transformation on some level, as a shift is required away from doing things the same old way. And the Cancer Capricorn axis will bring tension related to balancing home and family with career and responsibilities in the outer world. This shift requires a major transformation uh, where outer power reflects inner power, where transparency and integrity are key. July 7th is 9 Lamont, or star, or rabbit, or Venus in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. This is about patience experience through being grateful for abundant relationships. The 8th is 10 Maluk, or offering, manifestation through appreciating all creation. And at this point, Mercury then moves into the sign of Cancer after being in Gemini for almost 7 weeks as part of its retrograde process. While in the sign of the Crab, people will be communicating and thinking more about home and family from the perspective of security. Also on the 8th, we've got Mars in a trine to Neptune. So from our perspective here on Earth, these planets are forming a 120-degree angle, which is good for using our energy in activities that benefit others rather than helping ourselves. This can inspire us to seek spiritual knowledge about how we relate to others and the universe. Neptune balances the usual high physical energy that we normally have with a Mars transit, and actually may leave us feeling like doing very little. This makes us more conscious of the needs and wants of others. This is a good time to look at our lives and the world more objectively, without judgment, due to Neptune softening Mars's desire with detachment. Folks are more likely to do charitable work with the poor or disadvantaged people, with a caution against seeing yourself as a savior to those who are worse off. This transit favors spiritual practices, creativity, and compassion. July 9th is 9 Auk, or dog, resolution through enjoying family and friends in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. The 10th is 12 Chuin, or monkey, understanding through creating something new. And July 11th is 13 Ebb, or road, movement to the next level through serving your community in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. So no matter what the energies that are affecting you during the one sun trisena, just take some time to be in the flow of the planet by being in nature, watching a sunrise or a sunset, communing with the stars, being conscious of the moment through introspection, meditation, or being with someone you love. Every day we have is a blessing, no matter what the dramas that beckon to distract us. We're all here just giving the performance of a lifetime on this world stage. Just take some time to observe your play as well as act your part by remembering you're a spiritual being that's having a human experience. I want to thank you for checking out New World Birth. And the next segment of the care and feeding of a New World Age will be on July 12th for one Ben, or reed, or corn, with the Cancer new moon, Venus entering into Virgo, and the Sun and Mercury entering into Leo. You can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and the Mayan Magic website. We've got New World Birth in all those different places. I encourage you to share this information as videos or as text as widely as you choose. And I invite you to contact me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com if you've got any questions or wish to schedule a reading. And I am providing readings and wish to make this service available to the greatest amount of folks. So I've created 3 options with 3 levels of compensation. So if you've been thinking about getting a reading, please contact me. I would love to provide you a reading during these uncertain times. You'll need to be able to either call me in Maine in the USA, or we can connect with Skype to receive your reading. We're also accepting donations to keep these reports freely available. And you can email me again at newworldbirth@yahoo.com if you want to make a donation. As I've said before, I think one of the best ways of making a donation is get a reading. These are epic readings. They are usually 2, 3, sometimes 4 hours. Uh, I sort of think of them as if I was writing a story, and I use human design to do the character description, your character description, in the story, and then I use astrology transits to talk about what are the scenes that character is currently experiencing. I don't know anyone else on the planet that is using those two systems in this way, but I think it paints a really great holistic picture of who you are and what are the energies that are currently impacting you. I do want to just mention that my dear friend Kevin Bull passed away on June 3rd, and some of you may remember for almost 2 years I participated. I was the astrologer for the Earth Needs Rebels show, which Kevin hosted. Kevin was a great man. He brought a lot of light to a lot of people in fighting oppression and looking at the news that nobody else was covering. And I just want to send my condolences to Katie, his wife and soulmate, and just take this moment to honor Kevin in this report, and just say how blessed I was and continue to be to have had him in my life. As always, I'm blessed that you've taken the time to connect with my passion for these ancient mysteries and their application to our journey during this incarnation. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste, in Lakesh, and I am very grateful for everything. And so I look forward to connecting with you in the next report, or perhaps in a reading, or or if you email me a question. Anyway, all my best to all of you. Peace.